Every morning you wake up. What comes to your mind? Food. You put on your clothes and come downstairs to a table with food already prepared. You probably don't even care about the whole process of making food and the effects of wasting your food. You come to school or any events and enjoy a wide variety of food selections. But do you ever think for a second, where the excessive food go after that? The waste bin. Now sit down and think this way. While you have so many options for food, how about people in other places of the world? It can be in Africa, the Middle East, or anywhere that you can think of.
The majority of them are poor, and most importantly, they do not have enough food. While you can whine every morning for not having any other options besides cereal or Nutella with bread, those people go to trash sites to scavenge food waste from your house or your parties. Feel guilty now? But we do not want to make you feel depressed, as this is not only your fault. Understanding the root cause of hunger and the changes in our lifestyles can contribute massively to this issue.
Before moving on to those urgent solutions that we must generate, let's consider for a moment how much you really know about the hunger issue in Vietnam. What are the causes? Truly, you can list many common factors that we can see on the internet, but our nation's hunger is even more complex due to the socio-economic influence. With the reputation of abundant natural resources, Vietnam is the top target for any investors to exploit. However, the loose regulation in protecting those precious resources has resulted in an environmental disaster. Often up to the immeasurable scale, it harms the soil fertility, and much unethical acts from business to dump the waste to the ocean contributes to the severe disappearance of seafood, which is everybody's main food source. What is left for the people? Well, we have rice and vegetables. However, life is not so easy. Vietnam is one of the countries that suffer from annual natural disasters, often droughts and floods, that destroy all the paddock fields and crops. People obviously get nothing after that.
What do you think when you hear the word zero hunger?
To me, zero hunger means that all people in the world have access to healthy, nutritious food such that they can live productive lives.
Can you identify one way we as individuals could contribute to solving this hunger problem?
It's actually a very difficult problem to solve. I mean, there are a lot of factors, a lot of issues that go with it, but one thing that we could do as individuals is to reduce our food waste, because if we have artificially high demand for food, that means that the prices for food are higher, which means that people who are poor are not able to afford to buy those goods. So if we actually reduce our waste, we're helping other people have access to those healthy foods as well.
Can you list out one or two things humanity did that has led to this hunger issue?
I see hunger kind of in more mathematical terms as a math teacher, but for me, I guess overpopulation is one huge problem. I mean, if the human population continues to grow and we only have finite resources, then obviously we're not going to be able to produce enough food for all people. But when you look at hunger, what really it boils down to is the inequality or the oppression that some people are facing. Often those who are hungry are those who are in war zones or in civil war and these sorts of things. So those are two huge factors that lead to hunger.
Thank you. What do you think when you hear of the word zero hunger?
I think the very first thing that comes to mind is nobody experiences hunger, but you know that's an impossibility because I'm hungry right now. And I've had 2 meals today. So I think really what it ultimately means is that everyone on the planet has sufficient caloric and nutritional needs met.
Identify one simple way we as individuals could contribute to solving this hunger problem.
Coming from a society where we are plagued with problems of obesity, where at least 1 out of 5 Canadians, I think 1 out of 4 Americans, is obese. Obviously, we have too much. So I think a better distribution of food and resources for food is what's needed. And what we can do as an individual, I think, is create less demands on the system for food that we don't need. Refined foods, potato chips, if you will, simple carbohydrates that we suck down all the time, and our overindulgence in meat.
List out 1 to 2 things humanity did that has led to this hunger issue.
I think what's led to the I think we're better fed today than we've ever been in the history of mankind. So I don't think it's something that's led to the issue. I think we can still what I've said earlier is that the distribution of food is the problem, and I dare say that we're overfed. I mean, even Vietnamese, you kids would probably attest to this. Look at your parents' generation. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who's fat. Like you go, oh my God, that person's fat. But then look at your generation, and you might be able to say, oh, there's quite a few kids that are a little bit on the plump side. And so clearly we have too much. And then overfed but undernourished, right? We have too much sugar or too much. So I'd say what's led to the problem of lack of nourishment and being fat is that there's too much lobbying from the palm oil industry, from the corn industry, and from the sugar industry. All those things that ultimately lead to our being. Did I say the word? Can I say it? Obese?
We can promote good health. For instance, promote organic food trends, advocate movements to slow down climate change, donate and volunteer at local charity kitchens, donate food or money, educate people on health nutrition, or raise awareness around the issue of hunger.